All right, coming to you live from Web 2.0 Summit in San Francisco. I'm here with CTO of Rackspace, John Engates. John, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So you just got finished talking about OpenStack here. Can you just talk a little bit about what you see as the promise of OpenStack?
Yeah, I can do that, absolutely. At this conference, we've heard over and over again the shift to the cloud is going on, but there are some barriers, there are some challenges. Companies are looking for, I guess, the stars to line up with regard to the cloud before some of them are willing to adopt. And I think what OpenStack does is start to help to break down some of those barriers and some of those concerns. For example, some people are unwilling to move to the cloud for fear of lock-in, for fear of being tied to one particular cloud. Well, the idea behind OpenStack is if the same code can be run in a public cloud or in an on-premise private cloud or a hosted private cloud or at a competitor's data center, now you've sort of broken down that barrier of lock-in. The idea of a proprietary stack is not really interesting to a lot of companies. They really want that freedom and that openness that comes with OpenStack, and we're already starting to see the sort of the ecosystem coalesce around this idea. It's sort of the same way if you think about what's happened in the mobile phone space. You have the software that Google put out, the Android operating system, and that operating system has really taken off. We heard at this conference from Google the adoption of Android has just been phenomenal, and I think that same potential exists within something like OpenStack, where you have an ecosystem coming together to build it, you have people adopting it in a number of locations and providing services wrapped around it. I think that is a powerful combination.
So one thing was interesting that you brought up during your talk was, now this project's only 4 months old, but you've already got big backing from people like NTT, Japan's telecommunications company.
Absolutely.
Can you just talk a little bit about what they're doing?
Yeah, so NTT was I would call them an early adopter. They came to our very first design summit even before we launched it. So they were sort of on the early list of contributors or potential contributors. They are interested in having a cloud that can serve the Japanese market. The NTT company is beyond just a telco. They have IT services. They have people that build other applications for people, build data centers for people. They have a number of services, and I think OpenStack plays a critical role because, again, even in the Japanese market, people like the choice or the alternative to a proprietary integrated stack. Somebody like NTT has the ability with OpenStack to layer in their own storage, their own infrastructure, their own software for management or for other services that they might want to add to the platform. They've been very interested in contributing certain components to the stack itself. They actually had, prior to OpenStack, tried out one of the other open source, and I'll put it in quotes, open source cloud platforms because it wasn't quite as open source as they'd hoped. They wanted to contribute a piece of code, and that project wouldn't accept it because they had a commercial arm to that company that didn't want it to overlap with the code that they wanted to write. So with OpenStack, they don't have those concerns because it's a truly open source project. There is no commercial entity that's trying to monetize the software. Rackspace is trying to monetize hosting, not software. And so for us, it's really a true gift to the open source community. It's not something we're trying to put a lot of strings around. So NTT's excited about using it for a number of use cases, potentially building public clouds, but predominantly I think the early use cases are probably private clouds.
Well, thank you very much. It'd be very interesting to see how this whole thing unplays.
Thank you.